One thing I can say, at least there is no Star Wars or Spider-Man movie that's gonna cause a fight between local fans this year. So to
Okay.
local cinema, you guys are safe. Don't worry.
Ayo, what's up? So we're here, and this is actually our official episode 1 for the Cup of Geek. And I'm Geeky Pinoy, and I do have here my co-host at Blake and at Night of Fun. So we will be discussing a few stuff. So before we begin, so yun nga, we're here to discuss some topics na hindi lang naman about movies, hindi lang about series, but also trending news and stuff within the within the geek culture or within the pop culture. So before I start, we'll just introduce each other. So Blake, can you introduce yourself first?
Okay. Hi, I'm Blake Salcedo, also known as Aqua Blake, and I'm getting ready to talk about some pop culture movies with y'all tonight. Let's do this. I'll lead it to you, Ray.
Right, thanks, Blake. Hello, guys. I am Ray, and I am your Night of Fun, and you can find me on wherever TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, what else? Twitter. Pero, before anything else pala, before we go into the pop culture topic, I am writing a comic and lalabas na siya anytime soon, probably this week. So, probably you'll see me sa Pas Comic at this December 3. Tama, December
Uh,
3 nga. So in SM Mega Mall I'll be there. So pas Comic at on during the weekend, baka lumabas yung comic namin, hopefully umabot by that time. So hopefully you'll support Pinoy comics as well. So yeah, yun lang.
Go, Ray! Woo!
people had just had this film shown last week, and now we're gonna have Thursday or Night of Home. This comics release this coming month. Grabe, well, most probably we're gonna discuss this stuff along the way. But yeah, before we start, malapit na yung Pasko. What's the same thing na laging meron sa Pilipinas before or during Christmas? Aside sa Noche Buena, sa kabit kaliwat kanan, you know, mga Christmas party. We have the longest Christmas. Diba? So, what's one thing na sobrang controversial?
Sobrang controversial. Okay, before the controversial, no. From sa ano ko, sa personal life ko naman. Um this season is usually also a time to spend with the family and watch movies. And ako, I am a very avid supporter of the Metro Manila Film Fest. Lagi yan. Every time Metro Manila Film Fest comes out, we always select movies that we want to watch. More probably one or two, or I think there was a time na pinilit namin to watch at least five or more, 'di ba? So pang ano talaga, every Christmas yun ang ginagawa namin. So excited ako what movies are gonna come out this Metro Manila Film Fest. I wanna see kasi tagal na rin natin na walang, or we did not experience the film fest in a physical form, 'di ba? So ever since nag-pandemic, so I'm excited to see what's up during the Metro Manila Film Fest. Blake, how about you?
How about you?
Well, one thing I can say, at least there is no Star Wars or Spider-Man movie that's gonna cause a fight between local fans this year. So to
Okay.
local cinema, you guys are safe. Don't worry. It's your year. Even though
And the
Avatar's coming out, but no one really cares about that, so it's fine. You guys are good. You guys are fine.
Avatar's gonna
But
come out
yeah,
for a week, right? It's gonna be out for a week, and then it's gonna go out of the cinemas while MMFF is ongoing, right?
yeah, yeah. That's the format. And
so
then,
the
which
reason
like you know, we can do that.
go Blake, go Blake.
I don't know. No, I just said like good that they did that. They're gonna do it for like 1 week. That way, at least anyone who wants to watch it, they can catch it, and then we can go on to support local cinema and not just have to wait until January, and then people get mad and then spoiled. I'm still not over the Spider-Man thing.
Blake, that was a year ago.
I do not care. I do not care. I am conflicted, both as a supporter of Filipino films and as a Marvel fan.
And
Guys,
that's and that's someone in the film industry, right?
yun nga eh. There's just like so many conflicts of interest, and it's like, who am I?
So the reason I asked that is, of course, our not really our official topic. This is episode one, and the best way to uh, start this podcast is because we'll be talking about movies, we'll be talking about series along the way. We may discuss a lot of pop culture, but of course, let's go first to our roots. Of course, let's say, sabihin na natin, yes, we proud Pinoy love our own. And the best way to talk about it is, of course, our own Philippine cinema. Which is, yun nga, sabi ko, it's a controversial thing. Hindi ko naman sure kung controversial siya o talagang obviously in a certain status right now na ang hirap iahon. Pero actually, I was researching this topic last time, even I was at work, and it was what I can, before we go on to our questions or to our certain bullet points, there's really a certain period of time in Philippine cinema na talagang sobrang sinusuportahan. Yung tipong lahat ng kahabaan ng EDSA, yung mga, alam mo yung mga manual na pink na billboard along
Yeah.
EDSA,
Mm-mm.
as being advertised because walang social media, walang TV. Yeah, may TV, pero ang way talaga is print, tarpaulin. Actually, hindi pa tarpaulin, yun yan.
Nagpipinta
Billboards
pa, 'di
talaga.
ba? I think the actual
White.
painters were doing the big billboards just to
Oh
advertise
yeah.
those movies.
So,
I
those
actually
are really, yun.
like
So, that's the thing that we'll be discussing right now. How is it right now? And if you do have something to share, how was it before? Siyempre, like sabi ko nga, Metro Manila Film Fest, I wasn't able to check how many years is it now. It's ongoing, but the quality, when I was trying to compare the qualities of movies through every year, I'm a bit sad in a way, pero yun nga, that's how things go. So first question or first thing that I would like you to hear from you guys, what is Philippine cinema for you right now? You can let's go with Blake first.
As someone from the inside.
to really choose my words carefully. I don't want to get blacklisted or anything. uh, I would say it's better than it was a few years ago, but at the same time, it's still pretty far from what we can really achieve in terms of Philippine cinema. I know that there are a lot of things that are improving, like um, camera-wise, shots, the visuals, stories are getting to be a little bit more innovative. They're getting a bit more original instead of rehashing the same tropes all the time. But we're still pretty far from, let's say, something that most audiences keep on asking for now. We want better like action, better comedy, better romance, stories, all that. We're still pretty far, but at least it's not like before, in a way.
Hmm.
I
So
think that's
it's like a middle ground.
that's safe. That's a safe answer from.
Do
I
not
think no
blacklist
one
me.
will be. See. How about you, Ray?
Uh
Philippine cinema.
okay, I'm I'm a big fan of the non-mainstream Pinoy films. Although before, I think before I've supported some of the mainstream films. Like, to be honest, I was watching Enteng Kabisote during the
Mm-hmm.
first two, three movies that it came out. I was watching the films by Bong Revilla. I think what was that? The one that they were recycling, a science fiction story. I think that was a really good film. I just don't remember the title, but that was one of the movies that I really like from mainstream. But right now, I'll be the critical one versus Drake. I don't like the mainstream films right now. It's all I don't know, it's all about campy comedy. It's not really the stories are not really as um it doesn't really bring about some mindfulness into who we are as a Filipino. It's just there to make us laugh. There's not really a good plot in those movies, but that's me. Some of you guys who are watching right now may have a different mindset about our mainstream movies right now, but that's my opinion. But when you look at the independent films, or when you look at the producers who really try to tell stories, I think we have a lot of gems in Philippine cinema, and I think that's where we have a problem right now. It's what can we really sell as a Filipino as a cinema industry, a film industry in the Philippines. What is really our audience? Because right now, if you look at our audience, if you're making masa movies, you're targeting the masa for the movies. How much is a movie right now? Diba? If you're spending how much, 300 400 pesos for a movie, and you're
Wow.
making movies that targets the lower class, are they really gonna watch it inside the cinema? Are they really gonna pay 400 500 pesos, 300 400 500 pesos for a movie? Second is, there's also streaming available. So how do you make the cinema experience different from just watching it at home on your TV, watching it on YouTube, diba? So it's a little bit difficult to set that balance in terms of producing a film when you have a lot of these gems that are directors, creators, writers are creating, but we can't sell them locally. And then there's also another one. We can sell them locally, but somehow these stories, if we expand this to other countries, we are getting awards. We uh we we win some of the major awards in some major film festivals. So there's that. So there's really potential to tell stories, to tell these Filipino stories. It's just that we can't sell them locally.
Agree, agree. Actually, when I was trying to ponder on this Philippine cinema, kasi kumbaga in a Filipino perspective or tayo, alam natin na ano, talagang struggling.
Hmm.
Alam natin na hindi ito yung potential talaga ng Filipino cinema. Alam natin na we can really give great stories. We do have really great actors. And Blake, siyempre, soon, we'll have Blake din. Good. Babayaran mo ko dito. Pero yun nga, like what I'm saying, we do have the talent as far as writing, with cinematography, with with the actors, but how come we are still having some issues? Kasi nung tinignan ko, hindi naman lahat dinadaan sa CG, hindi naman lahat dinadaan sa visuals eh.
Mhm.
Why other countries, like sabihin na natin K-drama, wala namang visual, mga CG na sobrang titindi, or mga Korean movies, hindi naman sila gumagamit ng titinding mga, hindi sa lahat ng palabas nila ay may mga graphics. Why is it still they're able to sell it properly? Anong mali sa atin? Yun yung lagi ko tinitingnan. Pero, again, we had our glory days. Kaya nga sabi ko, it's either, ano ba, kasalanan ba ng colonial mentality? Sabi nga ng iba, it's too much of foreign media. nowadays because everything is accessible. So, ayun. Yun ang gusto kong marinig sa inyo, especially, saan ba tayo nagkukulang? Sa support ng local scene or ng tao or sa support ng in a producer's point of view ng government ba? Kailangan ba maghimasok ng government para lumang tayo? What do you guys
May,
think?
may ano ko doon, may follow through lang ako doon. Kasi 'di ba, when you look at these MMFF films before, the ones that really sold, yung mga talagang nag-box office, are the ones, are yung mga, ano lang, katuwaan lang, it's very comedy, yung, ano, basically, yun yung bumibenta sa, ano, sa masa. And then, the ones with the good stories, the ones that win the awards during the MMFF, okay lang, either they break even or wala. Walang panalo sa benta ng film nila. And if I look at this, no, it's similar to what's happening to Hollywood rin. Hollywood is now selling, or the movies that really sell are superhero movies that everyone enjoy, 'di ba? But if you look at these movies na halimbawa, some of the gems like right now, some of these small production movies na napakaganda ng kwento, napakaganda ng kahit napakalit ng budget, they're also struggling to find that market kasi probably moviegoers are also having a change of taste. So gusto kong tanungin sa atin, if we look at that parang perspective, is it our fault din ba as an audience na dahil mas sinuportahan natin yung ganung sistema or ganung product that the industry is pushing for these products to be sold to us, di ba? Is that something that naisip nyo rin?
You, Blake.
It depends, honestly.
Mm.
'Cause, like, for one thing, yes, it is an industry. It is show business. The part of show business is also the business of it, and you have to make money. You have to, gain a profit, earn, and at the same time, most of that comes from the reception of the audience and what they want. And lately, yeah, in line with the fact that, for example, a lot of audiences here, they want, for example, when it's MFF, they want something more family friendly, comedy, all for the family. Because, syempre, it's Christmas season, which I understand completely that, that's all right, because, it's comedy. It's just that maybe make comedies that are actually good, and not the type that would have nasty jokes that are not for children, like synced in. Like that's like one of the issues I have with like comedy movies for MFF. Segue lang, is that there's always going to be these really nasty jokes for general audience or PG rated films, but then there's adult humor there. I'm just like, why?
There's an adult undertone in this
You
jokes.
got 5-year-olds in the audience.
It's
You got 5-year-olds in the audience. But with that, it just shows how much of an impact and how you have to be very careful with what you show your audience and how you respond to it. And with that being said, again, you got to listen to what the audience wants and what is the current trend that's going on. If this, for example, a joke gets too tired and too cliched, change it up or go with the times of what's happening. Otherwise, you're just going to get stuck behind for a very, very long time, which sadly is what's happening to us for the better part of a decade or two. I hope I don't get canceled.
No, just to prove your point. Just to prove your point, Blake. There's I think I remember one comment, one film that's very comedic, and I really enjoyed it, and it just wasn't really, or I don't know how the Philippine audience took it, but I think it's a fun movie. is Zombadings. I like the film. It's very comedic, and I like the concept basically. But it's far different from what we see most of the time in during Metro Manila Film Fest.
True,
What I was
true.
checking last time, during 1970s or 1980s, the average movies that Filipino producers or the Philippine cinema, they are able to produce around 160 per year.
Mm-hmm.
That's the average from
60 per year.
1980s going to 1990s. So I was thinking,
How many of that in a
dami, ang
month?
dami Metro Manila Film Fest. So then as soon as 85 onwards, we're ranging up until now, we're just ranging around maximum of 70,
A
75 to
year.
76.
Mm-hmm.
That was like almost half ang nawala. Sabi,
The
I was
question. On that 70 plus something movies, how many have we watched this year?
yeah.
Diba?
Alright, that was actually what I was planning to be our intro. What was the latest that you watched, or the most recent one that you were able to see in the cinemas? Cinema, hindi lang sa streaming, hindi lang sa, pero well, we can go to there. So, yun nga, di ba, isa sa sinabi ko nga kanina, is the reason why we're struggling, sabi nga, di ba, I think this was last month. Even Blake made content about this one. And I made as well a content about it because Jing, our lovely senator, commented that we should be or they will be banning K-dramas soon
Mm.
because we lack support to our local cinema or our local programs. So I was just like, ah, siguro even, even if I did not make or di naman ako gumawa ng content, grabe na yung backlash.
Mm.
Grabe na yung feedback ng mga Pilipino. Is it really because of too much K-drama? Is it too much MCU, too much Netflix? And now we do have Disney Plus. That's why our our cinema or our very own Philippine cinema is struggling. What's your take? Whoever goes first.
Like muna ako may sasabihin ako dyan.
Okay, like with the whole influence from foreign countries thing, right? I find it funny that that senator would take an offense that Filipinos are focusing more on K dramas and stuff, but it's only because that we want to see that kind of content and how it's made be done the same way in the Philippines. And for a country or a group of people in a country that watch movies and shows to like something from another country and be influenced by it is not limited to just the Philippines. Because if you remember, and this is also in Hollywood. In Hollywood, there was an entire decade where it was full of kung fu movies. You got Jackie Chan, you got Bruce Lee. There was so much influences from those two that they even brought Bruce Lee in the States, started making more movies with him. The 90s Hong Kong action films, the Bullet Time, John Woo. America was like, you know what? We like this. Let's get this. Boom, inspired The Matrix, all these other action films during that time. So it's somewhat the same thing happening in the Philippines. It's just the fact is we just want the bare minimum of good quality. That's the sad thing about it. That's the thing that I think that they should focus on more is that we don't want to be like Korea. We just want to have the bare minimum of good quality content that everyone can enjoy, not just what is safe for a Filipino audience, but something that, let's say, an American or someone from the UK or someone from Korea would watch our content, watch our show, and be like, I like this. I want to watch more of this. Sige. Same thing of how they watch K dramas. So that's all we want. I think that's something that a lot of, I would say, a lot of those who are a bit older in that older generation kind of fail to see in terms of movies and shows now. Because just get with the times. Not everything is like how it used to be. You gotta move forward, gotta evolve. Otherwise, there is no progress whatsoever. Disclaimer, there is no political statement behind that fact, but if you guys find any political statement within that comment, you do you.
Before
Baka ba out of context eh. Go lang.
banning K-dramas or anything that they trying to threat the other media, would that work? Sa mga Pinoy, ha?
Actually, to your point, to your question, siguro Noah, no. I'm not really a big follower of K-drama. Normally if I watch K show or Korean show, napanood ko pa lang siguro yung mga what do you call this? Train to Busan, yung ano pa yung isang zombie film sa Netflix, and then Money Heist Korea also there. But not as much as siguro some people that I know watch K-drama. But siguro sa akin, in my opinion, my perspective, it's really how how these products relate to us as Filipinos, no? Paano natin tinatanggap yung product nila? And siguro we are having fun with these stories. And I think these stories can be also told from a Filipino perspective. And we've tried that, 'di ba? We've adapted some of these K-dramas into mainstream Filipino TV or cinema. And sa akin din, just to put a context on din with what's happening right now, you put on two shows that these opposing networks are producing. I started to watch Darna. Ito lang. I'm a big superhero fan, so I watched Darna. I only watched it for a week. It did not, kumbaga, hindi, although I may not be the audience for it, pero somehow it nawala a portion of the audience came off it because probably hindi siya as relatable or as engaging as what if I watch another superhero series. Whereas ito yung gusto kong panoorin pa. Hindi ko pa napapanood to, but I'm really getting a lot of good stories about Maria Clara and Ibarra. 'Di ba? It has a lot of, or people are talking about it a lot. And I'm really curious, bakit kaya? And hindi ko narinig to, hindi ko nakikita sa social media to as much in yung Darna na ganun versus what we're getting sa social media for Maria Clara and Ibarra. 'Di ba? Blake, you might want to say something about that.
There's the thing, there's I have something to add to that as to why, and like honestly, because I watched some of Darna, I watched some of Maria Clara Ibarra, and the thing that Maria Clara has over Darna is consistency of quality. Because for one thing, yes, Darna started off strong in the first few episodes.
Correct.
Like had decent effects, decent quality, decent
even the story.
Even the story
and whatnot.
When Isa Casado was there, the story was good.
Yeah. And then afterwards, it just became the usual run-of-the-mill, what we come to expect, like a CW show with filler episodes. The effects started to go down, and then the quality started to go down a little bit. Obviously, to have the quality bit focus more on more important episodes, but still, if you start off strong for something like this, you have to be consistent as much as possible. Unlike, for example, Maria Clara Ibarra, it's very consistent compared to Darna. Like, yeah, it's totally different genres. One is a superhero, one is a historical fantasy. But still, the fact that with Maria Clara Ibarra, the set design, it's a historical piece. So there's no room for error in terms of continuity and consistency in the quality of the show. There's no room for error whatsoever. And that's one of the things that I think hooks people into it, along with the fact that the writing is pretty good as well. And with Darna, it's
We kind of yeah, we feel you. We kind of lost it after how many weeks of the show, right? So yeah.
it's like it's basically Smallville, but
Mm.
I don't know.
Okay, there's one Filipino show that's on Amazon Prime, or that's on Prime Video, that I would want you to
Mm,
try watching. It's One Good
mm,
Day. It
mm,
stars Ian Veneracion. I like it. Not as much as probably how I perceive some of the shows that we get in Netflix. I have some nitpicks about that series, but again, to your point, Blake, it's consistent. It has
mm.
good cinematography, and it's consistent across the two episodes that I've watched, and I still want to watch it. I just don't have the time yet, so I'm trying to catch up on that series.
I think I'll watch it. I'll watch it also to see. And then if ever, I'll make a very critical review.
Well, I think so. At least we were able to establish that hindi colonial mentality. It's not K-drama or movies outside the Philippines that are really affecting you know how we embrace our own Philippine cinema. Kasi there are, aminado naman tayo, there are great movies like yung mga movies na kita-kita. Those are movies that hindi naman natin kinailangan na sobrang laking production,
Mm.
pero talagang kinagat ng masa, and it was really sobrang talk of the town. Yung mga gawa, actually yung mga sobrang simple, mga sobrang hindi hindi kailangan magsampalan, hindi kailangan maglantan. Alam, those are movies that are really being loved by Filipinos. But
No.
because ito, personally, even my mom shared it. Bakit daw sila, ba't minsan mas gusto nila yung K-drama? Because nanonood ka lang, hindi ka pa malungkot. Parang, alam mo yun, pwedeng sa huli, mabigat yung story. Kung araw-araw, hindi, kumbaga, you'll spend your resting time. Siyempre, di ba, mga palabas is in the afternoon or
Prime
after
time,
TV
gabi,
patrol.
oo.
Pagod ka na nga sa work, papanoorin mo pa. So, it's really, it's especially for elders who are relying on television. I think they just rather watch a K-drama
Mm.
na sobrang feel good lang. Walang kontrabida na parang mayat-maya manang ganun. Pero in a whole, yun nga, we know it's not the outside media that's really affecting the industry, but it's really, we need to fix it in the inside first. And then, yun nga, naging maganda yung outcome, for sure, mga Filipino, sobrang patriotic natin mga Filipino. We always support our own. Just sad to say that we are our own critic as well. Pag talagang hindi tayo nagandahan, talagang hindi Pilipino. Yan.
Yeah.
Talagang grabe na yung Pilipino. So, what do you think is something that we need to stop doing? Yung tingin nyo lang naman, and tingin nyo na pwede pa natin i-continue.
Ako siguro magsa-start. Sa stop doing, mahirap siyang sagutin kasi ganito. You can use the usual cliches. You can use the usual plots. If kasi yung target market mo rin is expecting that way. Pero if you really want to sell it, you can follow that you put Vice Ganda, or you put Vic Soto in in a certain story that's very appealing, that has very, kumbaga, mas malalim in terms of emotions, in terms of plot line, in terms of storyline. Pero nandun yung comedic formula ni Vice Ganda o ni Vic Soto. Kasi 'di ba si Vic Soto was if 'di ba pag Holy Week may mga shows sila Itbulaga that are really
Mm.
heart-wrenching and very inspiring. If they do that for in na mainstream at napaka group in an MMFF scenario, put a box office name there, give us those kinds of stories, we can probably put out better movies.
You, Blake, what do you
Agreed.
think?
Well, also in line with what Ray said, syempre, yeah, you can do cliches or like stuff like that, but also like do it in a new way. That way things do not become repetitive. But I think one of the practices, yeah, again, stop relying on the past or the safety net of repetitive plots just to churn a profit. Think outside the box, listen to your audience, and do something about the ticket prices,
Mhm.
because if you're going to market local films to your audience when you are really trying desperately to get them in your seats, find ways to make it accessible. One, lower the ticket prices. Two, better mark. Actually, no, this is the most important.
Okay.
Better marketing, because, for example, mainstream films, when we see a trailer, we know the whole plot already, like the bare bones of it. But that's it. We just see the trailer, and then of course local vloggers or people on Facebook will just post. Yeah, yeah, we'll just post about like the trailer posters, and that's it. There's no. It feels like there's no passion or budget to to really get the movie boosted up to get people in their seats. Like for example, Mikhail Red's film Deleter with
Yeah.
Nadine Lustig. The marketing of that was like, okay, we showed the trailer, diba? Tapos later on, the trailer's still there, but at some point the trailer cuts off. Like, this footage has been deleted. That is clever
That's
marketing.
very good. Yeah.
That is, thank God. Basta yun, lower ticket prices, better marketing, stop doing the same stuff like before. That's it. That's all you got to do, honestly.
I think we can on this coming Christmas. Let's try to the three of us. Let's try to give a date that we will gonna watch. That
Oh,
the
kailangan
movie
natin
will be
gawin niya. We have to watch at least 2 or 3 sa
uh,
MMFF ha.
at least
To,
yeah 2 or 3. Kasi kung lalahatin natin,
Yun.
hindi naman
I still have to like check out the movies.
Mm. I saw the lineup, and there are really good ones. There are really promising ones. So I'm excited for this coming Metro Manila Film Fest. Yeah, this podcast is not paid by Metro Manila Film Fest. This
we,
is just our observation. I'm getting a lot of hope in
yeah.
this upcoming December Christmas time.
And syempre
So
part of that is also supporting our local film industry as well. So we are
agree.
producing this stuff so that we can that we can be entertained as Filipinos. At the same time, if we can actually watch a movie or two during that film festival, let's do so. Pati yung cinemas na natin are also need also our help, 'di ba? So parang we are coming from a pandemic that almost 2 years walang cinemas. So these cinemas are also trying to to get back to get back up din sa nila sa nawala sa kanila. So yun lang din, we try to support our industry as well.
Ayun. So, before we gonna go ahead and wrap this up, so actually, Philippine cinema is a very broad discussion. We can go back, sabi ko nga, 1970s, 1960s, a perspective of foreign people with Philippine cinema in our current situation. There are a lot of things, and I think the main thing right now that we can really do is support it. Um, be critical be critical, but in the same way, constructive. Kasi what I understand with Filipinos, yes, if we hate it, we really hate it. We really do. And sometimes, ang masama lang, we throw a lot of mud dun sa palabas without giving, enough explanation why we hate it.
Mm.
And hindi masusolusyon na, I think. Kasi, kumbaga, sabihin natin, it's not good. It's not really good. But why is it not good for you? That's the question that the producers need to know, the film industry needs to know. Kasi sometimes they would really, before they make a movie, diba, alam naman natin yan, they will really spend a lot of research. A lot of research aside
Lot
from
of resources, yeah.
the people, their market, would it be good? Pero kumbaga, if they really here, since right now, all Filipinos have access to social media, they can really give a constructive criticism or a constructive way of telling them, ito yung hindi ko nagustuhan. Baka may alternative.
Yep.
Ganyan. Hindi ito. Ganyan. They don't need to really listen to us. But at least, we should support it in a manner as well, constructive at matutulungan din natin talaga. Kasi wala eh, tayo lang din talaga unang support. And ito, observation ko lang din. It's sad to say that Filipino support, hindi lang to sa movies eh. Even from music or
Music.
what.
Yep.
So, minsan sinusupport natin pag magsikat na sila sa labas eh. Alam mo yan, tulad niya, di ba? Nanalo ng kung ano-anong awards from Italy, from Singapore. Doon lang tayo.
Saka lang tayo, yes. Agree.
It's a sad thing. Or, pag produce na at pinalabas na sa Netflix, ay,
Saka
maganda
lang.
pala yun. Kaya kinuha ni Netflix, or kaya pala siya kinuha ni Prime. Mga ganun. And, which is dapat, tayo yung
unang nakakapanood, correct. Oo.
Yeah, yeah. And hopefully, we can work that out. And hindi naman hulihan lang.
Yep.
I think. Anything you would like to add?
Ako siguro let's keep it aside and maybe do this on another episode. I want us to talk about the cinema experience. Kasi 'di ba, it's expensive. So if we want to support Filipino movies, but we need to go to the cinemas. Pero syempre, it's expensive. So how can we make that experience different din, no? So that we can have more people go to the go and watch it on the big screens and the beautiful sounds that our cinemas have. Pero yun, overall, we just need to support our local films. Syempre, the local films also has to be in a quality that is to be desired by everyone, no? Hindi lang masa, hindi lang din yung mga middle class, upper class, but everyone. And then also the films that can also be desired by everyone around the world. So it should be parang in a sense global but local, parang ganoon. How about you, Blake? Nahirapan ka.
I was like, what have I not said already?
Being from the inside, yeah.
Well, I gotta tell you, like being from the inside, there are a lot. Like just so you guys know, because I know there's a lot of people that complain about how a lot of our filmmakers are doing the same stuff over and over again, and we talk about that a lot, and we complain about it a lot. I'll just let you guys know that a lot of our local filmmakers, they also want things to change up a bit. It's just that a lot of them do not exactly have the power to do so on their own. And honestly, usually whenever it's a time or a chance to like change the way things are, it's also pretty risky.
Yeah.
Which, like, for a number of reasons, is pretty risky. And that's the kind of stuff that can either make or break your career just like that.
Yeah.
So Just gotta be patient, I guess. God,
The powers
Yeah, I
that
think
be. Come on.
I was bought.
talagang sa audience mo yan, marinig yan. Pero, yeah, I think this is really a great discussion. This is something na nung pinag-usapan natin that we'll be talking about this. Kulang yung the normal time
Mm-mm.
natin dito. But again, maybe we can have a part 2 of this soon. We can have this special Philippine Cinema Part 1 episode. And then we're gonna go and watch physically. Especially
Yes.
malapit na yung Metro. Guys, those who are watching or listening, manood kayo. There are a lot of promising. Ewan ko kung we can put it on the screen as we watch this on YouTube or any platform. But try to support Philippine cinema because kailangan nila tayo. And what we're gonna get from them is kailangan din natin.
Yep.
Hopefully, we get a top class and something that we relatable. So before we end, go ahead, just plug anything, Blake, Ray,
Oh,
before we
kaya
close.
nga, bago makalimutan ng lahat, please, if you have not yet subscribed, please make sure to subscribe on our channel. If you're on YouTube, please make sure to click that notification bell so that when we, kumbaga, release another video, ma-update kayo. And then, like and comment para lang matulungan kami in terms of the YouTube algorithm.
Yes, and also so we can get paid.
Hmm.
Come on, people, we need money.
Like what Ray said, comment, please. It's not just about, of course, something that we'll get from the algorithm, but of course, we want to hear from you guys. What do you
Yeah.
want us to talk about? Anything that you can say about Philippine cinema right now, any experiences that you have, tingin nyo pwedeng ika-improve ng Philippine cinema, if share it in the comment, we'll be more than happy to read them. So again, this is a cup of geek. I know Philippine cinema is not really a geek stuff, but it's a pop culture. It's a culture that we need to really support. And thank you so much for listening, for hanging out with us. And soon, we're going to have our episode 2. Thank you so much.